All the vagina people keep me so hopeful. The damage that we're doing to Mother Earth, but Mother Earth will survive our nonsense.
Yep,
and
she will boot us right off this planet.
It will boot it out, and then she will come back again, rise again, and be like, let's see who shows up next time.
Welcome, Regina, to Think
you.
100%, the coolest show on climate change. It's extra cool right now that you're here. So I want to start by showing you this hat. It is a Think 100% hat. It's our logo.
Yeah.
And the cool backstory is we made this hat during a project we were doing with the Solutions Project, which you are on the advisory board, and you're a donor. And New Era. This is a New Era fitted cap, but for those of you who can't see us and you're only listening, it's the Think 100% hat that's on the website if you want to see it and buy one. Hat. Yes. New Era is a part of our culture, and it's so dope that they would support the movement in this way. And it's also the kind of stuff that I know the Solutions Project is funding, work that empowers people and the communities who have been traditionally kept on the sidelines of the process. So tell us what the Solutions Project is, who is involved, and about the big shift the Solutions Project is making.
Well, first of all, I love that hat. That's amazing. And Antonique, I love you so much. I'm happy to sit down with you. And I am involved with the Solutions Project, one, because I think they're such an amazing organization, and I am committed to climate change, and they are committed to climate justice. And what I love is, you know, that includes gender justice, and it includes racial justice. One of the most amazing things I learned, you know, and that I love about this organization, and let me just give you like kind of a backdrop, is that $60 billion a year goes towards kind of environmental organizations.
Yes, you're right. I heard that. 95% of that 60 billion goes to white-led organizations, 95%, and 70 to 80% goes to organizations led by men.
What I love about the Solutions Project is they're trying to change that. They're trying to close that gap. They're trying to include, you know, people of color and women. And, you know, we know that that is, you know, that is necessary for the type of change that we need, and the effective change that we need, and the timely change that we need. And I think that's what makes the Solutions Project so unique and so critical to, you know, the fight in climate change. You know, where those monies go and how they're dispersed, and, you know, who gets to have a voice in saying how we use those funds. And that's what's so beautiful about their work. Everyone has a different perspective that is unique and that is important, and I think it's kind of like we limit ourselves if we aren't making sure that those voices are heard.
Absolutely.
And that we're not inclusive. And I think that's, you know, every organization has, you know, their strong points, and, you know, that's one of the things that I feel like I love so much about Solutions Project, and that makes me passionate about the work that they do.
How did you get involved in climate change and environmental justice?
You know, I have a really amazing friend. His name is Dr. Gregory Schwartz, and he's amazing. And he kind of was the first one that really got me informed. You know, I always had heard the term, I always kind of knew, but he really informed me of its importance of how when we don't take care of the planet, like, we really kind of are ignoring ourselves. You know what I mean? That we really are connected to the planet. Like, we survive with the food. I mean, everything. So when our oceans are filled with trash, we're eating that. You know, our bodies contain that kind of plastic. And then I started working on Black Monday, and I met John Cheadle, who's involved with the Solutions Project, and he actually was the one who introduced me to Sarah. So it was kind of really organic, and also really incredible, because I think when you're working with an organization, you have to be passionate, you know, or else you're just kind of just doing it. And for me, it was so easy, because really understanding what's going to happen if we don't make changes, the diseases that are going to occur, illnesses, you know, how it affects our everything that we eat, the air we breathe, you know what I mean? I don't think sometimes people can realize what it's going to be like. I mean, you know, we hear scientists talk about numbers, but it all seems so far away and not really connected to our reality when people are just trying to be like, I got to get to work, I got to do that. But I think when we start seeing, you know, rates of cancer and disease skyrocketing, you know, that I don't want to have that for, you know, people I love, for myself, for friends, for family, just even, you know, amazing people who I may not know. And I think, like right now, if we all come together and take that time and invest our energy and our money into organizations that are really cultivating and committed to change, then, you know, that I can't think of anything that I would want to invest my time and money in more than that.
You sound like me when I first got into the movement. It was 2014. The Hip Hop Caucus was doing an album, which would have been, at the time, the first climate change album called the album Home, Heal Our Mother Earth. And
I love that too.
It's beautiful.
Because that's what it is, our Mother Earth.
It is.
You ain't gonna let your mama be sick.
No. Everybody love their mama.
Yeah, everybody love their mama. So we have to think of it
Take
as
care
Mother
of mama.
Earth.
Right. And
we should celebrate the earth on Mother's Day too. We should include that.
That's good. I never thought of that. Yes. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Mother's Day, Mother Earth.
Day, yes.
Yeah, I love that. So, like you said, it sounded like a faraway thing, climate change. It didn't feel relevant to my life.
Right.
I knew about the polar bears and the ice glaciers, and that was about it.
Right.
And, you know, and then in order to be a part of the album, they wanted to make sure I understood what I was doing, you know, being a part of. So they told me what was going on, and I just, like you said, I couldn't believe it. All of the, you know, the cancer and the asthma and the people who are dying and the people who are sick and the rich people who are making the money off of it and they're not paying their doctor bills and they really don't care. And so they sat me down and they told me all this and, you know, all these statistics and it all
it's
was
real.
very clear.
That's the thing,
it's real.
It's real. And I think once you
it hit
hear
home.
It hits home.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking, I could be committed to all these other causes, but if I'm not committed to the roots that's causing all of these problems, then you know, where is the real solution? If I keep letting Mother Earth, we'll call her that now, decline, but then I want to, you know, donate money to cancer and I want to donate money to, you know, I'm over here with allergies now, donate money to other things where people are fighting health risks, but I'm not getting to the root, the core, the source.
Right, the source.
Then, you know, if I'm like, I want to save a polar bear, but I don't want to save where a polar bear lives and this little Arctic shelf is falling off, then they go hand in hand. And it's kind of like, but I think a lot of people do not realize. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And thankfully, I had a friend, you know, Greg, I'm telling you, maybe about 8 years ago. And that's when, and once I heard it, and I was like, it's astounding.
It is. And then the thought now that you know, the scientists are saying we have a little more than 11 years to where things will be so catastrophic. I always like to say, you know, we need to take care of Mother Earth, but Mother Earth will still be, it's just a very selfish movement for me, because Mother Earth will keep spinning, but we won't be here.
We will not, no, we will not survive the damage that we're doing to Mother Earth, but Mother Earth will survive our nonsense.
Yep, she will boot us right off this planet.
It will boot it out, and then she will come back again, rise again, and be like, let's see who shows up next time. And it's kind of powerful to know, you know, I know for me, and I'm sure for you, that we can be a part of that change.
Yes.
You know, that we can
gives you purpose.
Yeah, and I really want, you know, I think a lot of people know from a certain, you know, certain sections of society, but we all have to know. And, you know, it's kind of like you know, I want companies that are these giant conglomerates to realize that they can make a humongous difference.
Like literally saving people's lives.
They can save
like
their own.
Right, in their own lives.
And their own lives,
some point.
And their kids, you know what I mean? That they can relate it, because, you know, you can't take it with you when, you know.
Right.
When you're sick.
I always say that. All these billions that people are making off of causing this pollution, what's going to happen to the millions when nobody's on Earth?
Nobody's on Earth. And, then, and also, what is life without your health? What is life without, you know, quality? You know, quality of life is a really big thing.
It is. What does the climate movement have to do to tap into the culture and the entertainment industry to make action on climate truly relevant in our culture.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, one of the great things about television and film is that we communicate so many things to an audience, you know, and they're able to say, oh, I get that. It's able to resonate with an audience in a way that when it's coming out of a, you know, scientist or, you know, a message that we don't really perceive, you know, in the same way. I think we have to start communicating how important it is. That's why I'm here. That's why I wanted to be a part of the Solutions Project. That's why I'm talking to you. That's why you're talking to me. You know, that's why you're doing it through music.
Right.
People communicate through conversation and through music more than they do statistics. And so when people hear statistics from a scientist, it's kind of like me in math class. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't really... It doesn't drop down, you know what I mean? You're just kind of like, oh, right. And then it goes right over your head. But, you know, when you hear it from a source that speaks to you, from a source that kind of resonates, you know, in the language that you speak, you know, then that's when people listen. And I think at this point we have to use, you know, whatever influence, influencers, you know, on social media, whatever form that we have, whatever medium that we use that connects to an audience, we need to communicate literally, you know, how important this issue is. And, you know, we need to use our voice and then collectively our audience's voice, and we need to demand change. We need to say, well, we need these companies to put their money where our mouths are, or either, you know, we can't support that companies. We want to support people who support the planet, who support, you know, Mama Earth. That's what it is, and we want to be able to let, you know, the people who are your fans and my fans or anybody's fans, you know, understand what's really going on, so that they can have that kind of aha moment that you had and that I had, you know, that somebody was able to really explain to us.
That is so true. So you mentioned that Don Cheadle, your co-star on Black Mondays, who got you into the movement. And y'all, if you have not seen Black Monday, it's on Showtime. It's brilliant, it's hilarious, and Regina is amazing as she is in everything. But as you know, with all the humor and the antics, there is an underlying theme around the racial wealth divide in this country. Regina, will you break down what the storyline in Black Monday is about and share your thinking about the opportunity around climate and clean energy and addressing the racial wealth divide?
Yeah, so Black Monday, obviously Black Monday is the day that Wall Street crashed, and it's kind of, you know, a very infamous day, and it happened, I think, October 19th, 1987. And so, you know, Black Monday took this idea that is a real thing, but we kind of created the events around it. And so the idea in Black Monday is that Mo, played by Don Cheadle, he wants to get 51% of Georgina. Georgina Jeans is like this, you know, jean company that the land that they're on, it's like worth so much wealth, and the jeans that are made were really made by slaves, ironically. So it's kind of like this, you know, billion-dollar empire that was made by slaves, and then you have Mo and them trying to get control so they can kind of get almost like money. I mean, it's not reparations, even though they're black, but they are trying to get a lot of money from it. And then there's a lot of stuff that we talk about racially, the racial divide, the financial divide. There's blacks trying to make it in Wall Street, which is really has been a really predominantly white male industry, you know, business. I mean, even today, there are not a lot of women of any color, and there are not a lot of, you know, just a lot of other ethnicities, period. Still predominantly white male. So what's crazy about it, though, is in real life, you know, what slavery was, 150 plus years ago, and we still have the same kind of economic divide. You know, we still have companies kind of really doing the same thing, and that wealth does not trickle down. And so when we see like disparities that we see today, still, and we still see giant companies making lots of money off of fossil fuel, when we really could take that, we could take these large chunks of investment that go into fossil fuel, and we could turn it into green energy and different solutions, hence Solutions Project, that are environmentally sound and safe. Like, we kind of have it kind of gives us an opportunity to kind of like, it's not 40 acres and a mule per se, but it gives us that opportunity to kind of make that reparation that we didn't do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you can literally say, well, you know what? I made an investment that is giving, people who have systemically had less opportunity, money, just from inception for so many things, an opportunity to have clean water.
Right.
You know what I mean? An opportunity to have, to not breathe air that's filled with fossil fuels, where we can do windmills. And it's not even, and it's really just financial, because we know now, that's the thing, we're armed with the information to know that green energy works and is more effective.
Yeah, and
we
makes
don't need
money.
fossil fuels and makes money. It's really just getting those people who have the money, and the power and the wealth. And also, it's not just about getting them to do it, it's about informing them. Because, I don't think it's obviously maliciously done. I really don't believe that. I just think it's what they know and what they're making money doing and what they're used to doing. But, encouraging them to say, from a moral point of view, wow, you get to do this. You get to reshape history. So you can look back 150 years, not that any of us will be here, but you'll get to look down on your grandkids and you can say, I made a difference in human life. 400 years ago, we made a different kind of difference, and we're here, but now we get to make another difference. And, you get to create an entirely different legacy that it's ripe for the taking. You get to be a pioneer and a leader of a different legacy that doesn't just save a race, or a culture. It saves the human race, right?
Mankind.
It saves animals. It saves plants. It
Humankind,
saves humankind.
Plants,
it
animals,
saves
the earth.
Mama Earth. We're back to Mother Earth, and so when you think about that, and you kind of think about all those parallels, it's actually a wonderful opportunity. We can look at it as something good or something bad, but I look at it as ground zero. I mean, anything's possible right now. And I just, I hope that those people who are in those power positions, feel excited about being able to make that kind of change.
Yeah,
that
save
kind
the
of
world.
Can you imagine
Excitement about saving the world.
If that power was in your hands or my hands, and in the history books, you can name 30 people who they were we're going to take this 60 billion, we're about to do this, save, and change, the whole, the direction that the planet is going into now.
Wouldn't need a second thought about it.
Yeah. So it's
done. Let's do this.
It is.
If I had that power, that money, let's do
it would
this.
be done. And you're still going to make money.
Right.
That's
it's not like you're going broke doing it.
It's not like we're saying don't make money. It's not like we're saying make less money. We're just saying do it here.
Right.
Instead of
do
there.
Do it here where it's not killing people.
Right. Just do it here. Make the change now that we have the information.
Yep. Fast forward to now. You were at the top of Hollywood. And it's quite a journey, and it's a blessing to see and an inspiration for me. And you got to see the world from different vantage points over time, from more humble beginnings to now in an elite position. And not many people are blessed with a 360-degree of the world, the view of the world like that. So tell us what that means to you. What values do you carry from your beginnings to now, and how do you keep your values intact?
My parents were working class, and that means you go to work and you got to, take care of your kids and pay your bills. And I loved my parents for that. My father passed away. I still have my mommy and I have my nieces and my brothers. But I think you kind of have an idea of what it's going to be like when you have money and, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you kind of think of what you're going to buy, right? That's the first thing you think of when you're little. I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that and I'm going to get my mommy. And, I remember my friend and I were little. We're we're going to buy a glass house. And she was I want a stone house. And we talked about having a half glass, half stone house, which I don't know that makes any sense. But, we were 10, so it was fine. But I think for me, morally, where I can... And DC's changed so much, you know what I mean? DC had areas that were really difficult, but those things still exist. And I think for me, morally, I would feel like I missed an opportunity if I did not put like the finances that I've been, the resources, not just money, resources in terms of people I know, my own finances, if I didn't put that towards something that meant a lot to me. And that's why for me it's climate change. That's why I feel like, you know, I have an opportunity to give. And it's like, a lot of people you may not have come from that. You may have only been born, you know, into one station in life. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But, you know, I would love to be the voice that connects them to the other side, to say, you know, you could give here. It would make a huge difference here. The people here who you may not know their names or voices, like, they depend on you in a way that you may not be able to understand, because they don't have the same power, the same influence, the same resources that you do to create the change. But the difference that you make in their life, like for me, I'll never forget that. You know, I feel like it's a part of who I am, and I'm blessed, and I feel like we're all blessed. There's not, you know, one station that is better, but there are things that are required when you are, you know, in certain situations. And so for me, you know, I require that I give. And, you know, when I meet people who are in that same position and have that opportunity, you know, that's what I, you know, beg of them. And, you know, it's not just giving money, it's where you give it, right? Because I can give it to anything, you know, good or bad. But if I give it to something that makes a change, then I'm affecting the very people that maybe I may have affected negatively. You know, it's kind of like righting a moral wrong that you hadn't even thought about, right? It's kind of like the first time I got a dog, it made me think of animals completely different. And then once I saw that animal, I saw every animal different. And I thought, I want to impact every single animal. And I think coming from that station, I understand.
Why do you feel women, and especially women of color, are particularly equipped to leading us to solving climate change?
Well, you know, there was a time when we lived in a matriarchal society, and it was kind of dynamite. So this idea of women leading is not new. It may be new to this generation and this time, but it existed, and it was incredibly effective. I think women communicate. I think women have babies. So this is an interesting fact. Women literally, you know how they say women live longer? It is because there is something in the female DNA that it's in nature, that their need to survive to make sure that their offspring are okay. So when you think that we have that DNA component, like that is genetic. And then you put us in a position where we can make change and fight for people, well, we're gonna get it done. I mean, we're already outliving people just to get it done. Like, I need to make sure this is okay, that's okay, my kid's okay, my grandkids are okay. I mean, we're living to 100. And I don't know, I think women are thinkers. I think women are incredible. I think the insight that we offer, the place of compassion that we come from, you know, it's such an exciting time. I mean, Mother Earth, the giver and nurturer of all things, is called Mother Earth. Not Father Time. Not Father Time. You know, Father Time comes and takes. Like, everybody's
Nobody really likes Father Time.
Nobody really loves Father Time. Like, you're looking at Father Time, like, but you know, you're looking at Mother Earth, like life. And I think anything, you know, we are life-giving sources. And, you know, I mean that, like, literally, you know, and figuratively. And I think, like, I'm so excited. I was so excited about seeing, that's what was so exciting. Women saw the need for change, and they sprung up.
I mean,
you know,
in a big way.
They sprung up. They were like, I will learn. And I think, you know, and that is not to bash men, because men have the opportunity to do incredible jobs, but we think differently. And like, having our voices absent, I think has led us to a lot of the, you know, decline, you know, that's happened to our planet. You know what I mean? I think women, you know, when we're going to think about, okay, my children have to eat this, my children are inheriting this, like, how can we sit down and come to a solution. Hence Solutions Project, which is why I love the name so much, because that's what really everything is about, you know, solutions. And I think that's what women focus on. Like, not the issue, not who's right, not who's wrong, but what can we do to solve the problem.
That's right. And here's some fun. Let's have some fun. Climate change can be a little sad and dark and, you know, all that stuff. So let's lighten it up. Some rapid questions. Don't be scared. As Rev would say, we solutionaries.
Solutionary, all right. Revolutionary solutionaries.
Yes,
I love it.
yes. Okay, so let's have some fun. I mean, now that I've been totally enjoying talking to you, but you know, climate change can definitely be a heavy, dark topic. So now we're gonna lighten it up a little bit. It's just a bunch of questions really fast. So just try to like give me like the first answer that comes to your brain.
Okay.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Your favorite thing to do outdoors?
Oh, hike.
Oh, nice. We have to hike then.
Yeah.
Your favorite animal?
Orangutans.
Oh.
I just think they're cute.
Yeah, you told me the story.
Yeah, Donald.
Yeah.
Orangutan Island.
Donald the orangutan. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Okay. Sleeping under the stars, yes or no?
Yes.
And when was the last time you slept under the stars?
Ooh, outside? See?
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I don't really sleep out. I like to sleep under the stars with a window. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like that. But I love looking at the stars.
I feel you on that.
Right.
Health food you actually like?
I love a lot of health foods. Honestly, I like avocados.
Ooh, me too.
Yeah, I love veggies.
Okay.
Yeah, I like fruits.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Like I like all kinds of like natural things that the little earth is trying to give us. You know what I mean? That the
Was
earth
it always like that, or did you grow into that from, you know, the stuff we have to do as actors to keep ourselves together?
I think when I was young, I did. My mom didn't really let me eat a lot of processed foods. And then, of course, you know, you go and you get older and you taste and then you kind of get addicted. And then one day, you know, you're just like, I miss just a plain banana.
Okay, Mom Dukes had you on the right track. Okay.
She tried.
That's funny. What's your favorite place on this planet?
My bed.
Girl, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
No place like home.
Yes, no place like home. And who are you fighting for in your activism?
You know, I'm going to say I'm fighting for Mother Earth. You know what I mean? I'm going to fight for Mother Earth.
That's good. That is so good. So my final question to you, my beautiful friend Regina, what makes you hopeful?
I think, you know, the question you just asked me, all the women who are now, you know, in charge, all the female voices that we hear, the people I talk to at the Solutions Project, the women in that, you know, the fact that the Hip Hop Caucus is involved. There are a lot of things that are hopeful, and I think even the people who don't know it, I think deep inside we all really want the best. It's really just getting in touch with that and people hearing it. And so I think, you know, there are people out there fighting every day, you know, in so many different ways. And like, I'm excited to know that that's true, and that keeps me hopeful. All the vagina people keep me so hopeful.
Yes, the vagina people.
Yes.
We are the best. I concur. Thank you so much. You are incredible, beautiful, talented, brilliant, and we are just so grateful that you are in this fight. I'm grateful to be in this fight with you. Thank you for coming and speaking to us here at Think 100%, the coolest show on climate change. And I look forward to continuing the fight with you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having a show like this.
Oh, yeah.
Like what you heard? Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and visit think100.info to learn more about the issues and donate to this project.
Also, be sure to follow us at Think 100 Show and at Hip Hop Caucus on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Use hashtag Think 100. Thanks again, and all power to the people.